Good afternoon and welcome to the Market Watch Group Weekly Market Wrap. My name is Scott. I will be your host. And it's good to see everybody. We're a little light today. We've had some big jumps in numbers, then all of a sudden we drop back down a little bit. Okay. Well, those who are here, it's good to see you both. Real quickly, let's hit the normal things, and that way we're ready to go when others jump in. Here's the disclaimers. Be careful out there. Here's the agenda. Today's market analysis. Started weak, regained some ground, but volume's low. We're pushing resistance. Yeah, it definitely looks like, I'm thinking a preemptive hedge. And I might put the signal out real time while we're meeting, the three of us, so that the email goes and it's on record. You guys in bullish trades? Are you thinking about a hedge? Are you going to carry bullish trades over the weekend? We'll talk about all that. We'll revisit posture, see if it's going to get better, worse, stay the same. Talk about the mindset. We just said, what are we going to do? Are we going to carry some trades? I'm really carrying hardly anything at all, but I will have a little bit. In a hedge and may add more. I'm in agreement with that. We'll look at that together. We'll look at it together, put it on, place it. I'll post and send an alert out. We'll all do that real time together. What's on the agenda for next week? We'll look through the trading. We'll look through the watch list, and then next week we're starting over. But Bob and Greg, you guys may not do the normal routine as far as the weekly cadence on trading plan, right? We normally just say, all right, this week we're working on section 1, and this week it's 2. And I realized that's great if you're on your first couple of passes. But when you get to the third, it's starting to get into a rut. And we don't want a rut. We don't want to get complacent. Let me just walk you through briefly what we did to address that. So here you can see let me make this a little bigger. I went through and I took, if you guys remember, there is a sample trading plan that I used as an example. I'm going to post it as a sample so that you can download it and use it as a resource. But I actually said I'm going to score and prioritize this trading plan. And so I went through each section and I gave it a score. And I said, man, some parts of it are pretty good. What just happened? Pretty good. Record keeping got an 8.8. Analytics got an 8.6. That's nice. Look at this. You'll notice, and you're like, Scott, how dare you have a 3.5? If you watch the video, you'll see why I gave it that score. But basically, it's like, okay, that was weak. Then I looked at the routines, found some weakness, improvement strategies. It prioritizes itself when we score it. This was my epiphany. Thank you, Bob. I'm glad you like it. This was my epiphany because I'm like, wait a second. We don't score the whole market. We break it down into components. Then we make a composite, and that's what we use. So why would I do anything different? I was like, let's score our trading plans. Well, based on what? Well, in order to score our trading plans, let's break it down into 8 components. Here was the first discussion. What's the weighting? I weighted everything equally. I said, I believe everything has an equal contribution, or at least close enough that it wouldn't make sense to try to build some sort of a weighting scale. The 3.5 is because it lacks detail. I went to the implications, but I didn't actually take the time to write out all the steps, which is what I would expect in an actual trading plan. So I scored myself low. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fix it And then I'm going to rescore it. And I'm going to do a follow-up video where I rescore it. And then that way you can see, based on the first video and now, what did I require? Here's what I'm going to tell you. My job is to get you to the mid-8s. Maybe starting to ooze into the high 8s. That's my job. Your job is to get you into the high 8s and then up into the 9s. And our goal, this is the new saying, the goal for each component is north of 9. That's the goal. The goal's not 10. It's impossible. It's there to help us understand our constraints. Right? It was a lot of fun to go through this. I highly recommend it. The video's out. It's posted. You got the email. Take a look. Okay, let's do our normal. Let's do our use. What is our market doing? The VIX, it's not triggering. In order to trigger, it would have to close above this high. That's why it's a bit of a preemptive hedge. But this is definitely looking like a higher low. If this is the low from before, and now we're here, this is concerning. I would love to have it go up and only get to here and then turn down for a lower high. I'd close the hedge and then put some bull trades on. Absolutely beautiful. I'd love that. But I do think that I'm going to go ahead and work through that hedge and we'll do it together. It's going to be a pretty easy trade to build because there's not a lot of analysis. But this is an interesting thing here. Overall, the VIX is at 12.5. What does that mean? It's beautiful. There's no fear other than we know there's a slight escalation pattern according to the patterns that we look for, which are subtle, very subtle. I don't think you'll hear a lot of people talking about it the way I'm talking about it, which is good to me. Because if it breaks up, they'll be like, oh my gosh, where did this come from? And we'll be like, what are you talking about? If it doesn't, we shut it down, right? Early or late. Those are your choices for hedging. Early or late. Take your pick. You know where I go. You know where I go. I don't think that's an option to not hedge. I was giving a presentation the other day, and I said if your trading plan does not have a well-defined component for hedging and how you're going to incorporate the use of hedge, it is missing. It is lacking. It's the best you could score that trading plan is that component is 6.5 without a hedging component. 7, right? It's got to be there. Needs to be there. Okay. Let's look at the SPY. Then we'll crack through and do the rest of what we're going to do here. I mean, look, we're up near. We didn't get all the way to the top of this trend, but I think this trend is still very much definitive of our current path. So if I were to go look at the long term, I'm going to say exactly where we've been and what we've been looking for. Nice and bullish. Our bullish score will continue to be a bullish score. I come down here. This is actually nice and stable. It's a pretty good score. 1.5, 175. It's going to be exactly where we were. Volume. We did get a new volume day. It's a red candle, but it's a positive day on positive volume. I believe I'm going to raise my score to a 0.5. Anyone want to weigh in on that? Welcome. Press, I got worried that I offended you. You were here for a minute and then you took off. Welcome, Stephen. I know sometimes on Fridays I'm prone to cursing. So apologies in advance if I do. Is everyone still hearing me? It got quiet out there. Everyone's there? Yes. Thank you, Stephen. All right. Major market VIX. As of now, nothing's going to change. I don't have anything else to score, right? The VIX is not giving me a higher high or a higher low. It's just kind of, we've already scored where it is now. I think we have. why I don't have my posture up. Close, but yes, I want to see these later. Of course I do. 125. A lower high, I would raise that back to a 1.5, but we don't have that. Major market, I think, is likely. I don't know, Stephen, you probably took a look in advance. Sector rotation, I do think we're moving. The longer we go the way we're going, which is increased momentum in consumer discretionary or communication services, increased momentum into technology, we're going to see this tick up, but I don't know if we've done it yet. So if I were to predict right now, I would say my score is going to go to a 5.75. 5.75. No problem, Press. Business takes precedence, of course. Of course. Just glad to have you. Anyone else want to weigh in? So I think I'm going to be at or slightly higher. 5.75 is my prediction. One thing we did talk about, Press and Stephen, is a preemptive hedge. If you're going to carry some bullish things and you don't have a hedge, I'm a little worried. Now, it's not, in order to trigger an actual hedge, we would have to get above 12.68. I'd say 12.7. We're at 12.45. But it does look like it could be turning higher. This could be turning higher. I'm thinking about it because I'm at 12.5. If I'm wrong, yeah, thank you, Press. That's exactly where I'm going. It would be cheap. Preemptive means cheap. And like I said, you're early or you're late. It's very difficult to just be right on time with your hedges. If you get to where you're right on time with your hedges, package it up, sell it as a workshop, make sure I'm on your distribution list because I'll pay for that. When you master that, I will absolutely pay for that. I've decided it's either early or late. I choose early, and it has worked out profitably. So there you go. It does its job. Okay. Sandy and Stephen, one of the things I did, Press, you missed it. I gave a recap of last night's session. I thought it was awesome. I'm literally going to go through and actually prioritize my own trading plan the same way. It's like if you score it, it prioritizes itself because it tells you where the low-hanging fruit is, right? Like, oh, geez. If I go put some, rather than go spend a couple weeks on some strong sections, take those. This is what I was going to lead to. I missed this part as the connection. We're about to start back over at section 1. So if any of you in this room score your section 1 at or above 8, especially if it's at or above 8.5, and you have anything on your plan that's lower than a 7, yeah, don't spend time on section 1. Go bring everything else above 8. Right? Don't go get an 8.1 to an 8.2. Spend 3 weeks getting a 6 to an 8. That's better time spent right there. That will make you better, your process better. It'll address any weaknesses that are likely in that area. It'll prioritize itself. That is my premise. Okay. Let's just crack through real quickly what's going on today. So, is this updated? We started down. We regained some ground on all of them, except for the Russell. The Russell's down almost 2%. That's going to be that's going to. I think it was going to be okay until we are down 2% on the Russell today. That's going to really be difficult. Stocks tumble as record-setting rally cools. Consumer sentiment hits lowest level in 7 months. The whole, like, they always try to frame it in a way to make it look worse than it needs to because fear sells. Just remember that. right? So put your Yahoo filter on. So it's like it's tumbling. Stocks tumble. The S&P is down 0.12%. 0.12%. Small caps are definitely getting slapped around a little bit. Tumbling? Come on, Yahoo. You're better than that. Good news is no news, right? Thank you. Fed appears to be the market's friend this cycle. And it's so funny because everyone's like, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. And then they all stop. It's like, you can't get, everyone thinks they're the professionals, these talking heads. Oh, they just bloviate constantly. And then they bloviate the other way. Just tune it out. I promise you, tune it out. What else? They broke up in 1989. Now his ex-girlfriend is inheriting his $1 million retirement account. Oh, that's she put some time in back in the 80s and it's paying off. Well done, Margaret. I don't know why that's news for Yahoo Finance, but Broadcom, did you guys see that? I told you splits are bullish. M&A, mergers and acquisition are bullish. NVIDIA did a 10-for-1. We know CMG is coming up for a 50-to-1, and AVGO Broadcom has joined the group, announcing their 10-to-1. It's good stuff. Okay, economic calendar. I don't care about consumer sentiment. Preliminary reading being at the lowest level. What I do know is inflation met Fed characteristics that it has emerged its momentum downward. What do we have next week? Next week we have, funny. My older brother turns 50 on June 17th. I should reach out and tease him about it. Retail sales, production, utilization. Markets closed Wednesday. We're not going to meet Wednesday morning. We're going to kick the Wednesday morning meeting to Thursday morning for our midweek check-in. Wednesday to Thursday. No market due to Juneteenth. We have a little bit of real estate, not much else after that. So, okay. Let's go take a look at our Fed watch. Did I say older brother? Yes, sir. I'll be the last one, still in my 40s of the siblings crew. And I will make sure they all know about it. All of them in their 50s will know about it. Am I turning 49? Yes, I am. That's a lot of time. A lot of time to give all of them. That's a year and a half to give them all as much shit as I can. Plus, I'm gonna just say I look younger than they all look older than me. So brag. I'm gonna brag a little bit. All right. Let's go look at our stocks real fast and then we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that hedge trade, shall we? Is there anything I missed? The hedge or the Fed. I missed the Fed. Let's just go straight to September. 2-to-1 in September. I still think November though, but maybe. Looks great after that. Definitely by then, November. Maybe November. I mean, we'll see. It's not a consensus too. We'll get at least one, maybe two. That's what we're thinking right now as far as interest rate decisions go. Let me start up here at Apple. Starting to consolidate. We love that. Move it to next week's list. AMD, if it's going to go, put it on next week's list. Amazon. This looks great right here. I mean, look at this. That's 3 already. I like Amazon. I think Amazon could be setting up, and I think that's going to help consumer discretionary. And if consumer discretionary joins the crew, we get increasingly more bullish from a sector standpoint. AXP, I am concerned about financials. Financials have lost a step, as have industrials. So there's quite a few of these that are a little bit concerning. Boeing, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about it. If I did it, would anyone else do it? That's a question. I didn't take the last one, but I was like, yeah, this is a trade right here. And then boom. I'm like, okay. BAC, I do like BAC. It's a little early. The stochastics is turned. You don't have it. So let's just call this anticipatory. I think that's valid. If you're looking for a financial, this is a leader. I do think financials can recover, and someone has to lead the way. I'm thinking about BAC, maybe waiting until next week. City, you can see, has dropped. Industrials, Caterpillar has dropped. Look at CL trying to flag out of there. I don't know. CMG, 50-1. Not next week, but the week after. Coming up. Oil continues to drop. Love that. Costco. Every time I think Costco is going to come back, I'm like, oh, here we go. 2 or 3 days, Costco's going to come down. They're like, nah, we're just going to keep moving. Come on, Costco, you dirty bastards. Come give us a trade. Delta's continuing to drop. Diamonds, maybe, on the Dow. EQH, who is looking good. And then, however, still above the 50. But like I said, I'm a little concerned about financials as a whole. FCX down. GBTC, Bitcoin. Any Bitcoin? I think it's going to drop. GE, like I said, the industrials have lost a step. I'm way more inclined. Things shuffle, right? We rarely get all 5. When technology and communication services were pausing, we had strength in industrials and financials, right? But now it seems like we're getting some pause in financials and industrials while reinvigoration in the technology sector and in the communication services sector. And with Amazon doing what it's doing, I would say maybe in consumer discretionary, that's our big 3 last year to start everything off in this current bull run we're in. Those were the big 3. So, hey, if those can get lined up again, I think we'll probably see our sector rotation get back to a 0.5, maybe even a 0.75. I guess we'll see. Let me go check on the chat. Guys are talking. It's funny because I feel like sometimes I feel young, like, what? I can't have, and I know you guys get this better than I do. I can't have kids in their 20s. I can't have a college graduate. But then there's times when I'm like, get out of bed, my body creaks. Way too many sports injuries over the years and concussions and various things where I was a little more reckless with my body in my youth than I probably should have been. Now I'm paying the piper. Creaking and cracking. All right. Let's keep going on our watch list. Where's my watch list? Where's my Discord? There's one. There's the other. Gold. I think materials are questionable. Google looks awesome. I hope it pulls back a little more and gives us a consistent signal, but I'm ready. Let's be ready. This thing could turn at any time. HIMS is just strong as can be. I'd call this retail, but it's just can't seem to pull back. Yeah, we'll evaluate and see the race between small caps and large caps and see what's going on there on Sunday. KBH, kind of iffy, but possibly setting up. You've got earnings, though, next week. Coca-Cola, put it top of the list for a Monday or Tuesday trade, I think. Yeah, that sucker looks great. Discretionary or staples have been strong. Coke's a strong stock, just had a higher high. Now we have a higher low setting up. Looking good. Meta, consolidating, flagging as of now. Love it. Looking good. You know I want to trade where? I want to trade in technology. I want to trade in chips. I want to trade in communication services, and I'm thinking about consumer, and I'm agnostic whether it's discretionary or non-discretionary. Give me Amazon, give me Coca-Cola. We've got some good ones in there. MFC, I'm telling you, I'm so suspect of financials. I don't think you'll find one that would convince me. That's just me. Maybe here in the defensives. I like if I'm gonna do anything in financials, BAC is my horse. Tell me if you think I'm right or wrong, or if you have a different financial stock that you're looking at. My horse, based on all of them that we've seen right now, BAC. Bank of America. Microsoft looks great, but it's overextended. It's overbought. It needs to pull back. Be patient, Grasshopper, and let the trade come to you. Micron, be patient, Grasshopper, and let the trade come to you. Netflix. We talked about Netflix back in here as it was coming out of this bounce. I think you're too late. I guess you could look at it as maybe a breakout. NVIDIA, strong, but we said that could be a flag. I mean, it would have been right in here. I don't know. It's hard to read. I hate that they haven't fixed this bad data feed. Palantir pulling back. That could be a trade next week. QQQ overextended. RTX. If this holds and bounces at the 50, even though it's kind of like at or below these previous lows, right? It's a little below that. I'm not so strict that I'm like, oh, it's a higher, lower low. I can't do it. It's above the 50. The trend is strong. I'm game. Would anybody join me? In BAC, love it. Love it. RTX, a little defensive. I think this trend looks pretty. It's pretty. Who doesn't like a pretty trend? Who doesn't like pretty things? SPY. So we put on, if you saw the trade alert, I put on a, what is going on here? Take you off. This is where we are today. Yeah, I mean, it's looking great. Anyone do this trade? It's the volatility pumping in a little bit is helpful. It's up 10 contracts, a couple $100. Now we go to the weekend and we get 1, 2, 3. By the 17th, it's here. At that point, I don't think I'd let it go much higher than like 544. Or I'd let it come all the way back down to here and then just let it run in time. If it gets a little bit more, great. That trade can be adjusted. It's good to go. Out of curiosity, did anybody end up putting that trade on? I think that the alert was for 62 cents. I think you could have got it as good as 59. Just let me know so I know if I'm like helping track it for anybody or not. Okay. Perfect. I am thinking a little bit about that put. I'm going to go look at it here in just 1 second. Let's finish the watch list. TSM, flagging, looking for the pullback. That could be a very nice bull trade next week. The dollar is weird right now, to say the least. The dollar is weird. We'll keep an eye on it, but holy shit, those last 8 days, I don't know what's going on with that. There's the VIX. It's a little accelerated, but it hasn't fired. So again, if we do a hedge, it's preemptive. VRT looks a little iffy. WFC looks iffy. Walmart. I would say Walmart looks like it's breaking a flag, and I would be ready to go on something like that. That's at or close. If not today, maybe Monday, right? That's anticipated. You can see the stochastics is pinching. This is turning up. It looks pretty good. Okay, let's go to SPY. I'm going to bring this up over here because I'm going to post this on. I'm going to post it. It's going to be valid through Monday, but that's only if the market hasn't, if the market gaps down Monday, you're either in this or you're not. If the market's stable, this will still be valid. But this is, if you're here, you could definitely look at it, right? So I'm actually going to just put this alert out after the fact. I'm going to work on the trade now. Yeah, it seems to actually be kind of escalating just a little bit. So SPY, we're going to call it 544. Nope. This is what I want. 544 times 0.95. 517 strike. What did I have on here? 517 strike. And let's go 5 weeks out in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 19th of July. 517, $1.49. What's hard is I was looking at it preemptively yesterday and it was cheaper. I'm like, oh, I want the cheaper one. But I think I was actually, to be fair, looking at the 515. I think I was at the 516, so it's a little bit above that. And I was looking at the 515 at like $1. So it's a little cheaper, but I think this is what I would do. It's at the 515 level. Let me uncheck these and check on this guy. 3 contracts. So that's about a $400 trade, and that allows you to scale, right? That allows us to scale. Yeah. Let me create a duplicate order. So I would say this is valid at or below $1.50. At or below $1.50, it's valid. But right now you can get it for $1.36. Let me go back to the analyze without this on. At $1.50, it looks like this. So you'd have to catch it on the 17th at or below 542. At or below 542, the market right now. So basically, if the market opens where it is, you'd still be able to catch it. If it opens higher, you'd catch it. But if it opens any lower than this on Friday, yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to catch that trade, it seems. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3 of these on. And I'm going to put this alert. It's going to go out as just kind of an after hours alert. At or below $1.50 is what I'm going to put the alert at. So the better you get it, the better the trade. Bob, is this about what your hedge looks like? Anyone else hedging? And if so, how close is this? Let me know. Yeah, so there it is. Got that put. We'll see. I think that here's what I would want. I would hope to be wrong on that put. I hope the market pulls back for maybe 2 or 3 days, real lightly. VIX goes up a little bit, starts to roll over, confirms a lower high, close any hedges that are open, put some bullish trades on, giddy up, bullish window, yeehaw. Who's with me? Questions, comments, or oh, did you guys see this? Hold on. Nope, that's the wrong thing. Let me pull this. Billy Ray saw it. He was, oh. Woo, I just shut it down. Did you guys lose me for a second? I don't know what happened. Okay. A consolidation over here. I closed all of those old channels where I was trying to like give us topics. Now we have trading discussions, trading plan, options, trading systems, rules. That'll be in here. This is a forum now. I'm just learning how it works. I put these tags in here. I'm going to go in, but this is where you can put in anything about Trading Boom. Ask a question. That's right here. You have a question, put it in. You ask your question, and there it is. And we will organize these as forums so that as we discuss things, it stays there as a resource. I am going to be adding the suggestion box, and then I'm going to organize all of our channels in a cohesive way. I'm excited about that. Additionally, starting next week, Glenn is going to start joining 2 of the 4 member-oriented sessions. He's going to do one of the Tuesday, Thursday chat sessions where you're just kind of sitting there and chatting. And if no one's there, he's going to be in there responding and asking questions and really. So there's going to be coaches available. Take advantage. Put your questions in and your discussions in. He's also going to be there on Wednesday for the closing hour meetup. Get in there, turn your camera on, have a chat, talk about what you're doing. He's not going to do a formal session. He's just going to be there to chat with you guys. We're going to try to get more folks involved and engaging in these extra channels. If we start to get more of them, I'll add more so that we have every first and last hour of every day formal structure so you can go in there and interact with other traders. So a lot of things coming down the pipe that I'm excited about. I hope you are. Any questions about the new? What time frame will he stay if no one shows? He'll be there the whole hour, no matter what. If no one's there, he's just going to sit and trade, and answer questions, or he'll maybe like put like a thought of the day, or try to provoke some discussions in some of the channels. So he's not going to come in and leave. If you come in 10 minutes before the hour, he'll be there. It's an open thing. Now, I'm not always going to tell you which day he comes because I got to get you guys getting in there and wanting to. This is the goal, is if we can start getting 5, 6, 7 people in these things, then they start to run themselves because you're interacting with each other. And I know we're looking to open some things up to get numbers up, add some additional traders to the group. But we just want to make sure all the mechanisms are in place. What else? Anything else? So we talked about the new channels. There's going to be some new videos coming soon. Some new resources coming soon. We got a lot of good stuff, right? Just trying to continue adding value. And then, like I said, once we get that suggestion box channel up, then feedback is ready. You guys can start helping. You're the early pioneers of this thing, so you get to shape the group. I feel great. I feel like we have a good market. I feel like we're going to escape the summer doldrums pretty unscathed. I thought we were going to get smashed a little. We didn't. My only regret is I wish I would have had a little more bullish on at one point, but I traded my plan. It all worked out. Okay, let's get ready for what's next. What is next? Sunday, 9 a.m. Father's Day edition to all us hardworking fathers. And then my family and I are going to a Brazilian churrasco, I think is what they call them, a steakhouse where they come around and they have those skewers and they slice it right at your table. And just bring all these different kinds of meats. Oh my God, it's off the charts. It's so good. That's my Father's Day. Then we're gonna go see a movie and plan our Christmas vacation to the UK. That's Father's Day at my house. What's for drinking? I feel like it's whiskey sours. That's just kind of my thing. Whiskey sour for Father's Day. It seems to make sense. Anyone have a better suggestion? Let me know. Anything? Oh, there's the closing bell. We made it. Amazing. Smoothies. Sandy, I said drinking. Drinking. I don't mean sipping on something nice. I mean drinking. All right, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. I will see you Sunday. Gave it up in 2007. I told my mom I wouldn't be a quitter. No, I'm just kidding. That's amazing for you. I actually don't drink much. I mean, I've actually been reading. People are like, oh, a drink a day. I read that a drink a day can really do some damage on your heart. I typically drink at Thanksgiving, New Year's. No, not even New Year's. Thanksgiving, Christmas, and maybe 4th of July. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Happy trading.